So after the Smash Brothers Invitational, apparently there was a closed-door meeting with press, and at that meeting, Pac-Man was announced as being a playable character for Smash Bros. And there's a trailer that apparently just came out after we went on the air, and we haven't seen it yet, but we're going to play it right now.
Hey, do you want to put on the second headphones?
Yeah, I do. That's
Actually, hang on, let me get this out for you.
Because usually I can't hear anything. Only this guy hears stuff.
And let me do this real quick. Yeah, there we go.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry, very old headphones. My apologies.
That's cool.
Okay.
Do what you gotta do.
All right, let's try this out here.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't even know if I can get volume from this. Now that I think about it. Oh, I have to do one more thing. Hang on, guys. Sorry. This was not part of our original plan, so
It's true.
I was not prepared for this. I can't see because it's too dark.
Welp.
Come on, guys. The pro is the pros. We are.
Oh, I just heard something pop in my head.
Yeah, and that sounds really extremely loud. I feel like I'm going to
might die.
I feel like we're going to kill all of us here. Hang on, I'm going to turn the volume all the way down, guys. Hang on a second. It's still popping. What the hell? Okay, let's try this. You guys ready to die? Let's do this. Okay.
Good luck to everybody else.
Yo, nothing?
James!
Yo, nothing? Let's go, YouTube. You can do this.
Aha!
Oh, but there's no volume.
Now there's 0 volume.
There is no volume. There is no noise. Hang on a second, guys. Wonder what I can do with this. Bless you.
Welp.
Well, apparently this is going to be massive failure here, so hang on a second. So I haven't done this on the PC yet. We've done this on the Mac before, but I haven't actually done this on the PC, so that is why it is kind of messed up right now. Let's see here. Oh god, I'm not spooky. Are you kidding me, dude? I'm not even close. So let's take a look here. Audio. Well, keep talking while I'm trying to figure this out. So
Okay.
You're like, whatever, dude.
What am I going to talk about? Pac-Man, his character, has been around for quite some time.
I guess it doesn't work on that jack. Hang on a second. Let me try something real quick. Ouch. We're probably on the front page of Twitch again. How much you want to bet?
I would hope not. Hopefully they got bigger fish up there today.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yep, they do.
Are we?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant yes, they have us up there now. I was like,
Oh yeah, Z-Mang says that there was also no Sonic being played at the Smash Brothers Invitational. That would have been cool. He was not a very good character in Brawl. I played a lot against him because that's who Ski Sonic played, and we played a lot. And that character was not very good. What did you think also about the items in the Invitational? There were Smash Balls, there were Final Smashes.
Still no audio here.
I thought the final matches have always been kind of busted in that some are really good, some are not very good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and there was one I think was like Rosalina's, where she just put out like, I don't know, some like circle of stuff that seemed to deal a little bit of damage, and then I don't know, nothing else. And whereas Wii Fit Trainer like blew up the screen with all little like Wii Fit things coming out of her.
Yeah, Greninja like just hit the space in front of him,
right?
And then he would kill whoever was there, but it just didn't look like it did anything. So.
I mean, it did a good job once it hit them, but if you didn't get hit by that tiny little active area, then you were fine.
Right.
But yeah, the Wii Fit one was ridiculous. But that's how they always are, and I that's how they were in the last game anyway. And I hope that it won't be like that ultimately. Although I guess that looks like how they're going.
I mean, it could also be kind of a balancing aspect of the characters, right? So.
Well, I do think that might have been the idea in the previous game.
Right.
Like Sonic was an assy character, but he got to Smash Balls pretty well because he had the speed to get there.
Right.
And then his final smash was him like flying around killing people, and it was pretty solid.
Right.
So yeah, I always thought that might have been like their idea, but that's not what people are gonna do.
All right. So digital input.
Wii Fit Trainer was Dark Donald.
Dark Donald, nice. Yeah, I don't know what the hell this thing. Dude, this thing is crazy. What is this? Like, I've never even seen one.
I don't know. It's a lot of options, man. I'm not sure what to tell you.
Dude, there's even something that says karaoke down here. So.
Yeah.
All right. Configure speakers. Test.
What about this?
Uh-huh.
How about you play the speakers out of the speakers, the music out of the speakers of the video, and just like, you don't have speakers? These monitors don't have speakers?
No, these are very old monitors.
What?
Yes, I got these monitors.
James.
Dude, I got these monitors for free from work. Okay, I stole them from work.
I was going to say, we could just play it out of the speakers and then like put it onto the little mics.
Oh man. All right, let's worry about this later. Let's go on and talk about some other things.
I didn't actually go to E3. I only went to the Smash Brothers Invitational, so no, I didn't get a chance to try out Xrd.
Right.
That would have been very cool.
I heard they had a little on like a stream thing at some point today, but I heard it wasn't very good. Like they did it with like GameStop, but I guess I'm sorry, GameSpot, but I guess GameSpot didn't sound like that they had researched enough or something like that.
Well, that'll happen with fighting games.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure.
That's why fighting game companies nowadays are bringing their games to UltraChenTV.
It's right. That is right. Exactly.
And I'm sure we'll talk about that in a bit. Okay, so whatever. If we can't see it, then what are you gonna do? I mean, it's Pac-Man. That sounds cool. I'm really excited for him. They have this crazy list or cast of characters now, where they have like all of the old school gaming mascots involved: Mario, Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Sonic, Mega Man, Link.
Dude, and
everybody.
And how's this for trivia though? This is not the first time Pac-Man has rumbled with the Nintendo cast.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time? Arcade Mario Kart. You could race with Pac-Man and all the ghosts.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, I did not know that.
The Arcade Mario Kart.
I never played it.
I've never played it either. I just remember seeing videos of it and I was like super excited. I was like, oh dude, I'm gonna totally play this, and then I just never found an arcade. I never found an arcade that had it. Yeah, exactly. So
yeah. I think maybe the only place I saw it was what was that horrible, very expensive arcade that was a chain, and there was one in Las Vegas.
Dave & Buster. GameWorks.
Yes. GameWorks had it, and it was like $250 to play, and I just said no. I'm not gonna do that. So Pac-Man wasn't the only character announced today. There were rumblings that Game & Watch was, but he was not. Apparently, it was just part of a little joke.
Oh wow, that's sad. Okay.
Yeah, but it was not that it was perpetrated by anybody, but that there was something. Let's see. GameXplain has confirmed that Mr. Game & Watch only appeared as a joke, referencing his spot in video game history alongside Pac-Man.
Okay.
So that's what it was.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then Palutena, as you said, appeared. Seems to have a bunch of different projectiles. Looks cool.
Trying weirdness here, still not working. I don't even know, like, because remember we just saw that window that actually like had like, oh, you plug this in here, you plug this in there, and it's not showing up anymore. Why would you not do this? This thing is so weird. Alright, I give up.
I don't think this is gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't think this is gonna. I'm gonna have to just do this on a weekend or something like that and figure out how to get it to work. Sorry about that, guys.
Why don't you link the YouTube video in the chat?
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Sorry.
And then I'm gonna watch it after this.
Okay.
While we go to break.
Was that actually Tom in here, dude? Is he firing me?
Wait, what?
It says Inkblot SRK.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Probably should be, yeah.
Fair enough. Oh, man. Okay. Well, then.
Anything else to talk about with Smash?
Not that I can think of. Let's move on to one of the other fighting games. So,
yeah, we got a bunch to talk about. Talk about Killer Instinct, maybe?
Yeah. So Killer Instinct Season 2 is underway.
Okay.
And they've announced one character.
Okay.
Yeah, and then that character, of course, is TJ Combo.
Right.
The boxer.
Right.
And the coolest thing about that is, like, did you see that PR Rog tweeted this? That one of his outfits, like his pants, have like the Puerto Rico flag on them.
What?
Dude, I have to wonder.
You think that's a reference in there?
I wonder, dude. That'd
be awesome.
Dude, I'm so willing to bet that Keats and them got that in there just
I could totally
for
see
Eduardo,
that.
dude. Just for him. Yeah.
That's one of the awesome things about having a developer like that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But apparently,
well, okay. So other than how he looks, is there any information about him?
The trailer, I was told. I mean, I saw Keats tweet that the trailer made him look kind of interesting, but there's definitely a lot more to him than just that. So that'll be. I can't wait to see how that goes. Right.
Right.
But the other thing that in the press release that they released was that there was some new mechanic they're putting into the game called aerial recapture, which apparently means that it's kind of like Skullgirls. You know how Skullgirls, you could knock some people up into the air and then combo them, and then when they touch the ground, they're back on the ground
Yeah,
again?
if they're still in hit stun when they hit the ground, yeah.
Right. So I'm wondering if that's kind of... That's what the press release kind of implied. That you could kind of take some people in the air and then start the combo again on the... Keep it going, I should say, by getting them to land and standing up again. Which is kind of cool because that might open up some characters to be able to do more things,
Well, in this little conversation that I guess Dave Lang had with IGN summarized on SRK, he says that TJ Combo's gameplay is going to be a really rush-down, heavy brawler. He won't have complicated execution, but he will have a signature tremor move that will knock down the opponents, allowing him to get in and stay in. Not on?
Does it still not work?
I guess, because they've seen the pizza.
Dude, can you still hear it right now or not?
I guess not.
That's weird. That's really odd. Dude, what the heck? Let me see. Dude, we're getting audio here. Now it works.
Oh yeah,
we can hear now. Okay, it was just a minute behind. It was just a minute behind.
But they had already referenced the pizza in the chat, and I had just taken a bite of it like before.
Dude, that's so weird.
So
I don't know.
I've taken to buying cheese pizzas and then cutting up all my own little ingredients on it and putting it on there. That's my stuff.
That's your own stuff on there?
Well, I didn't grow it. But
well, I know, yeah.
I bought it.
You're like fancy. You're like fancy schmancy guy.
Why? It's cheaper. I'm being cheap. That's why I'm doing it.
Nice. Okay. Well, in any case, I was saying that, the aerial recapture state, I feel like Sadira should be a character who takes advantage of that a lot, and I would really like to see it if not every character had it. That's the main thing, because if they all had it, then it's just like, oh, here's another thing. But if they made it so that certain characters were good at it, but the question now is if there are some characters who are good at it, can you combo break in the air now?
I would have to think that they would do that, because that seems like the design of the game. It seems like they don't want you to be able to avoid having combo breaks.
Right. So, yeah, I'm curious to see how it's going to play out. But it's cool to see that they're trying to add a lot of new things to it.
Yeah. But I definitely agree with you that it would be nice if not everybody had the same combos.
Yeah,
that's my only critique about the game is how that works. Just the fact that you can't avoid break a ring or whatever it's called, and the combos are always the same. The same for everybody. That is. That's my only complaint. I really like the characters. Otherwise, I think they're really fascinating. Very, very well done. Yeah, I really like that stuff. So I would like to see more variety. Yeah, if possible.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so obviously that's not the only game that's been getting some news. Mortal Kombat X. Yeah. Which, in fact, I guess is called Mortal Kombat X, not 10, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So that just got announced this week. The trailer came out a couple days ago, I think it was, right?
It was yesterday because it was shown on the Sony stream.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, so it came out yesterday. And this was not the yesterday was the CG rendered one, wasn't it? Or no?
Yesterday there was gameplay.
Okay, so that's what I meant. There was the original trailer came out like last week sometime. Yeah, right. That was the CG rendered one, but now we finally got to see the one with the new gameplay and in fact 2 new characters, which were B-Girl and Choi and Chang, right? So QB basically, and Choi and Chang, right?
Yeah, so. And their names are Devora and Farah/Tor. Devora is Hebrew for Deborah, and it's a very old Jewish name. So when I heard that, I was like, Devora. It's like that might have been like my great aunt.
I wonder if they were trying to make
my great aunt Devora and Uncle Hyman.
How much you want to bet they're like trying to make like exotic sounding names, right? Yeah. Accidentally like made one.
Dude, I'm sure that's what it was. I mean, because I'm sure she's not Jewish. She's some B girl. It's gonna be something weird. But yeah, I'm gonna claim
cool she was Jewish.
It would be to finally have an explicitly Jewish character. It's never happened in a major fighting game,
right? Except for maybe Rugal.
Not explicitly. Right, I'm just making it up. Yeah, it's not real.
Yeah, but then the other character, which was really interesting, which was Tor and Farah, you said?
Farah and Tor.
Farah and Tor is like a Choi Chang in CVS2, where the main character is riding a giant beast, right? And the giant beast does a lot of attacks, and he'll throw the small guy every once in a while and stuff. So it seems like this kind of neat tag team mechanic. So they're definitely coming out with some interesting designs here, but I'm curious to see how it's going to go as it keeps going. Because, I mean, even in Mortal Kombat 9, I was really disappointed. For example, like, what's her face? The female four-armed...
You're talking about Shiva?
Shiva, yeah, right. Yeah, Shiva wasn't actually a real grappler.
Well, yeah, right.
You know, stuff like that, right? So I'm curious to see how...
It looked like there was an actual grab moment where the big guy holds the opponent and then the little guy jumps off and like does little
that's right.
I looked like it was actually like an actual grab.
That's true. Yeah.
So I thought that was really interesting. Interesting to see some of the options that Sub-Zero and Scorpion had. Sub-Zero did the ice clone and then threw it.
Yeah, chucked it.
Right, so that was really interesting.
Another thing too is I guess Ed Boon also announced today a 5th character, which is Cassie Cage, I think it is.
Yeah, Cassie, and then there was another one, something Khan, the new Khan.
Oh, is there? Oh, okay. I didn't see that. I just saw about Cassie Cage. I mean, the interesting thing, obviously, so these are all the new characters or whatever like that. The really main interesting thing from the trailer was the interactables. They're in the game. So you actually saw like Sub-Zero swing around a tree branch and stuff like that. So they're actually putting interactables in the game. Just like for Injustice.
Block button is back. I don't think that should be a surprise to anybody. It's just an integral way that Mortal Kombat has always done things. Injustice doesn't have a block button, and that's a departure for NRS. And I was pretty sure personally that they were going to go back to the block button thing. I know that turns some people off, but it also is a really cool mechanic too, because it lets you kind of move around in a different way. At least in MK9, as you're dashing around, you can cancel your dashes with blocks. And so the movement in that game was really cool because you could dash up and block and dash up and block, and it just kind of created this very interesting movement.
I feel like that the game design is in such a way, especially with all the teleporty moves and stuff like that, that the block button only works for MK. So I'm glad they decided to stick with the block button because it's also a very distinctive feel for that game. So yeah, for sure. So I'm actually okay with that.
Sorry, I'm just trying to...
Yeah, no problem. I'm doing stuff too here. We're super professional, I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me about it.
And we're also super neat as well. Yeah. But yeah, so I guess Cassie Cage is the daughter of Johnny Cage and Sonya.
They're going to keep the energy meter from MK9, which I really like. That's one of my favorite meters in any game. I really like the way that it works. If that means that they have the breaker in there still, that'd be cool with me. I really liked how the breaker was done. You know, there was EX, breaker, and then super or X-ray. And you had to use it was the same meter for all those things, so it really created an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, one thing I do like about the NRS games is they really do a lot in terms of meter management. And you know, I've been talking about that in Ultra as well. I like the fact that meter is more valuable in Ultra, so it's not about tossing out random EXs anymore. Meter management is just a concept that I've always been in favor of. So.
Kotal Khan is the other character.
Kotal Khan.
Right.
Okay.
And you know, there's this interesting mechanic that they haven't really expanded on too much about how you can choose a variation to your character. Boone was talking about it, and he says, for example, one version in particular, let's see, Farah. We'll see Farah damage Tor in an effort to enrage him, making for some high-risk, high-reward situations in which the player's damage increases while they also lose life. So that's a little bit of information, but I think it's just a kind of an indication of where they're going. Right. In Injustice, the characters had crazy options, a lot of really, really interesting stuff, and that was the thing that I most wanted to see in MK10. That I most wanted them to pick up. Other stuff, fine. Block button, fine. Whatever. Right. I just wanted to see crazy characters again, and it sounds like that is what they're doing.
Yeah. So. I mean, what was I going to say? I totally lost my train of thought here. And I would not be, personally, I would not be upset if there were a lot of new characters, because I feel like if they were just to go back to the previous characters, I feel like there's maybe a limit to how crazy they can get, because they're established. Right.
If you pick a Sub-Zero, I mean, okay, maybe you can throw the ice clone, but you more or less know what the character does.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
Whereas making some new characters like Devora or Farah and Tor really makes you do, or allows you to do crazy things. Right.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to see.
There are no cross-ups in Mortal Kombat. It doesn't really work like that.
But it never really. But that's the way the game has always been. Yeah. If you change it to not a block button, I just don't feel like it's Mortal Kombat anymore.
I agree, man. I feel like that's a very important part of it. Yeah. And just because there are no cross-ups doesn't mean there isn't a lot of other stuff going on. There's a really interesting frame trap kind of game that is played in Mortal Kombat. Chip damage is hugely important. Characters, yes. There are a couple characters who are really good in large part because they deal huge chip.
I'm actually super curious to see if they're going to add the meter burn mechanic in there.
Right.
You know, because I love the meter burn mechanic in Injustice, so that would be really cool if they had both EX moves and a meter burn version or something like that. Right. So. Yeah.
Man, does Magneto really count as a fighting game character, as far as Jews in fighting games go?
Oh yeah,
I know. He's a character who's in a fighting game, but
not specifically designed for a fighting game, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and furthermore, I don't think he is a Jew, culturally speaking, anymore, right? I feel like he renounced it at some point.
Well, he's had like 5 different names, right? He was Magnus at one time, then he became, he was Eric Lenscher at some point, and now he's like Max Eisenhardt or something like that.
I don't follow it that well, to be honest.
Yeah, he's had like 5 different names or whatever. They keep retconning it and stuff, so I don't know.
I don't think I should count that, but it's all I got, so fine.
Magneto, okay.
We'll do it.
All right, so now you're going to play Magneto in Marvel from now on, right? So, no, okay.
No. Okay, well, anything else to talk about with Mortal Kombat?
Not that I can think of. Like I said, there was something I wanted to say, and it just completely fell out of my head. So, but it's because I'm old and I'm still thinking about audio right now.
You're still trying to work on that?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about that. In any case, so, okay.
Okay, well, let's take a break. We still have more stuff to talk about. We want to talk about Persona, which was here last night.
Yes.
We want to talk about Ultra Street Fighter 4. And then, I don't know, maybe we'll have some time left. Maybe we'll BS a little bit.
Okay.
Be back in a bit.
Good. All right.
We forgot to talk about one thing in Smash, and that is the Miis, the playable Miis.
That was one of the new characters announced. So.
Right. So everybody can play their own Mii, but there are 3 different varieties of Miis. There are brawlers, sword fighters, and gunners, and they have different moves. But on top of that, you can customize your Mii.
Right.
So if you're brawler, apparently there are 3 different buttons, 3 different moves that you can assign to each particular button, and you pick from one. You pick one of them.
I'm guessing it's going to be like 4 different up Bs that you can choose from,
Right.
4 different down Bs.
Right, that's how it sounds. Yeah.
And then you just customize it. That's actually really cool.
I think that's fun. That's certainly fun. What do you think about that from a competitive standpoint?
That's going to be really interesting because now you kind of have to understand all the different possible combinations, right? So
Well, do you think that they will be playable in tournaments?
I can't see why not.
Really?
Yeah, I can't see why not. I mean, as long as they're fair. If someone finds a combination that happens to be OP, then maybe they get banned or something like that. But if none of the combinations stand out ahead of any of the other ones, I can't possibly see why you wouldn't allow them to be in there. 'Cause technically, you could practice against all of them.
Yeah, I guess, but just not with the combinations. Like to have 3 different combinations, 3 different options per button is like a pretty big difference.
Well, I mean, I'm guessing that it's going to be the same for every.
Well, presumably. I mean, of course, there's only a maximum of I think 12. If I recall, it's just 3 times 4. So there's a max, but each of those varieties is going to make things different. Right?
Yeah, for sure. But everyone will have access to those same varieties, so maybe they'll be allowed.
I don't know. It doesn't seem practical to me.
Okay.
It doesn't seem practical, but it seems really interesting and fun for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Yeah, but I mean, I just think that's a really cool idea. I like the fact that they put in the 3 different types. I think it's funny that one of them is a sword type, because that probably means he's the best version out of all 3 of them, right?
Yeah, I know.
That's the way it always works, right? Guy with the sword
seems like
just
it, man.
dominates everything, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's very cool. So yeah.
All right, well, let's move on then to talk about Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. Last night, Yu Namba from Atlas came here, and which is awesome of him, and he showed off the console version. Well, some of the console version anyway. That's coming to the U.S. You know, Atlas is putting it out in these regions, and he came out and he showed us a couple of Rise and Ken. Yeah, and the other show. Right.
And one of the things that he wanted to announce on the stream that it just slipped his mind at the time, so we tweeted it out afterwards. Yeah. But the new version will be playable at Evo. SRK just announced that as well this morning. They just mentioned that as well. So yeah, if you want to try this new version out, go to Evo. They will have a booth there. They will have it playable. And he even said that, they're working on trying to do a P4A, the original version side tourney over there and stuff like that. Yeah, so that should be really cool. So
yeah, definitely. What did you think about the characters?
The characters look super interesting. Like, I mean, that game is just all about... I mean, so someone asked me before you came on the show who I would use.
Okay.
Right? And I was just, like, kind of half joking, like... Dude, you got a guy with a baseball bat. Like, it's hard to fight. It's hard to argue against that. Then after I saw exactly how he worked, I was like, dude, I totally want to play this character.
It looks super cool, man. That's what an interesting mechanic.
Yeah, but I mean, unfortunately, that's always that same situation where I just don't even have time to play a lot of these games. I talk about it all the time. I want to play Injustice. I want to play all these games. Dude, I want to play Ultra, and I've barely even had a chance to touch that game, dude. It's driving me nuts. So, we'll see how that goes.
I thought Ken looked really interesting. He had a lot of range, but he also had the dog to allow him to both it seemed like set up offense, but also to getting involved in combos, and so he had this interesting combination of space control options with the ability to set up pressure for himself. It looked really cool, really interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I mean, unfortunately, we couldn't actually play with the character. You know, you had some restrictions, and we could only watch the CPU play as Ken.
Yeah.
In only a couple of games. So I mean, there wasn't too much that we got, but you could get that stuff.
Yeah, we didn't also get to see Adachi, which I guess was the first announced DLC character or something like that. So I guess we don't know anything about him or anything like that. So, but it is playable at E3 right now. So yeah, I think they're in the same hall as the Nintendo booth and everything like that.
Yep.
So if you're still going the next 2 days, make sure you go look for the Giant Teddy and basically try the game out.
Yeah.
And so super exciting stuff, man. I mean, like I said, every year I'm always like, well, I guess next year will be a slow fighting game year.
It seems like that, yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like everything just kind of comes out. So it's that's better.
That's great.
Right? That's great. Yeah.
That's great.
More and more games. Let's keep bringing them. So
I definitely agree. I'm really looking forward to that. And again, we of course we said this to you, but really wanted to thank him for bringing it on and showing it and letting us mess around with it for a little bit. It was awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean that's
Seriously.
really cool. So yeah.
Yeah.
If any other company wants to bring games onto UltraChenTV, we can arrange that. We can arrange that.
Let's do it.
Anyone wants to bring Mortal Kombat X?
That'd be so cool.
Or like an early Smash, I'm totally down.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, exactly. With our tens and thousands of viewers every week on our show,
Cumulatively, if you over time.
If you add a 0 to the end of that number right there, Oh, what did you think of the Dead Rising DLC?
Did you see that? I did see that. That was hilarious. And the name of it, I couldn't even remember the whole name for you, but it was hilarious.
So amazing. It was like Dead Rising 3, Ultra Super Hyper Fighting, whatever.
Yeah, plus alpha
with the dash on there.
With the dash, yeah.
You know what the best thing about it is? Me and my friend used to always joke about that. We would always do that, and we would always edit with Jedha's Damnation. That's the only part that was missing. But, I mean, dude, that's awesome, dude. I think that's so great that they're actually kind of teasing themselves like that. So
I think it's really cool.
Yeah, and it's interesting because obviously the DLC is them dressed up as a lot of different Capcom characters. Right. Do you see the Bayonetta thing that you can play? The Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U is coming with Bayonetta 1 on the disc.
No, I didn't.
And the Bayonetta 1, you can also put on a Peach costume, a Samus Aran costume.
Really?
And I think it was a Link costume. Yeah, so you can so she'll actually swing with Link's sword and stuff like that.
That's the benefit of Nintendo picking up your game, I guess. All right.
Yeah, because in Tekken, you remember in Tekken Tag 2 for the Wii, they put in Tekken Ball and you could dress them all up as the actual Nintendo characters. So, yeah.
That's cool. That's definitely cool.
Super Ultra Dead Rising 3 Arcade Remix Hyper Edition EX Plus Alpha.
There you go. That was the name. That's awesome. That's really well done. That's really well done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, seriously, dude. They said that when Mario Kart 8 came out, the Wii U sold 600% higher than the previous month. Dude, after this E3, I feel like it's just gonna go. It's gonna go crazy.
I almost feel like I feel bad. I get kind of that we're not talking about the Xbox or PlayStation at all. But look. I watched both of those live. I don't remember maybe 90% of what happened.
You were even trying to be snarky during
this morning. I was trying to be a douche.
Yeah, and you couldn't.
I couldn't.
Yeah, you couldn't. So
I saw Splatoon and I was like, look, I'd like to be an ass right now, but I just don't know how would I even do it. I'm not sure.
Only thing you complained about was Tingle not being in Hyrule Warriors. Right?
But then I think he was. I think
what?
Somebody told me that he was on Twitter, and that's just Twitter, and I didn't do any research after that.
Okay.
So maybe people on the chat will let us know either way. But, yeah,
dude, that'd be so awesome.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I heard in the Sony press conference they talked about TV programs again or stuff like that. I don't know. It's just it's kind of weird because it's 2 years ago, I felt like Xbox did really well, and then this last year, PlayStation did really well. Remember when they had the commercial, like, this is how you lend the games, right? This year, I just felt like it was like Nintendo's turn. And
well, I definitely feel like Nintendo was the best, as we said.
Mm-hmm.
But then I also definitely feel like Sony was the second best. I felt like Xbox was kind of left in the dust.
Right. Okay.
There was even that moment towards the end of the Xbox one where the presenter kind of seemed to imply, like, look, we know that we made some decisions that a lot of you did not like, but hey, we've rolled back a lot of those decisions.
Yeah, dude, the whole...
let's start over kind of thing. Like,
right.
Let's move on.
Dude, look at that. Looks like the Peach Bayonetta summons Bowser hands and stuff like that.
What?
That's amazing. But,
dude.
I mean, the crazy thing about it is I heard that they did not mention the Kinect.
I don't remember them ever
like,
mentioning
they
Kinect.
Didn't say anything about the Kinect. They came out with the $3.99 bundle.
I didn't notice that at the time, but yeah, I don't remember ever hearing about Kinect.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I heard. It's like they were almost kind of like, we're sorry, like, our bad, you know.
I think that's literally what they were doing.
Yeah, it just didn't work in their favor at all.
No, it didn't. It didn't. Yeah, and you know what was even too bad was that there was a point, unless this was Sony with the eye, about how there was a fitness game. I think Microsoft had that.
Okay.
I think so, and I actually felt like that was the most interesting use of the Kinect that I've seen. I mean, it's all going to be gimmicks with that thing, but that I felt was the most kind of like
practical,
useful. Yeah.
Dance Central, seriously.
I mean, Dance Central.
As soon as they came out with Dance Central, that was the end of it,
obviously.
Right there. There was just nothing else to do. So I mean, Dance Central is amazing. So.
Well, do you want to just jump into talking about Ultra SF4, or do you want to take a break and then do that?
I don't know. What do you think?
Well, we'll probably rant quite a bit.
Okay. All right. So let's take a quick break then.
There's a lot of ranting to be done.
Yes. All right. We'll be right back.